All right, we're live. Let's do this.
Let's go, Mark. All right. Hit me with your best shot.
Hit me with your best shot. All right, bro. Okay. For this one, I want to go back to our childhood, bro. All right. What dreams did you always have when you were a child, bro? What are like cool superhuman abilities that were fucking sick?
Well, the ability to fly, be invisible. Yeah, I think those are the two bigger ones. Teleportation, that would be sick too. What else?
Not bad.
Shadow clone Jutsu.
Shadow clone. All right.
I already
Okay.
it worked once, that's how you came out, but
You mean the other way around, bro? You're the clone. We all know that. You're the
I
second
never
one.
know who's the original.
I marked my clone with a dot right here. Damn, boy.
All right.
No, I was talking about superhuman night vision, bro.
Ooh.
Have you ever wondered, bro? You're like, at nighttime, you're outside and it's like, wow, in a dark forest, like, I wish I could see everything, bro. I mean, there are some animals that can see at night very well as well. But what if it's possible for humans and also do that with incredible precision so that it doesn't matter. It literally could be dark, no light, absolutely nothing, not even UV light. And you could still see everything.
Wait, let's get one thing straight. At night, I don't want to be in a forest. That's just number one. Like, I try to avoid that dark places at night. That's definitely not for me. But yeah, it's definitely cool.
Let's play through the scenario. The Slender Man just got you, bro. You're just like in the night alone, in the forest, bro. You have to run, you have to hide. What kind of superpower do you want? Obviously, invisibility would be sick, bro. Superhuman strength? Yes. But what's actually possible nowadays, bro? Superhuman night vision, bro. Imagine you can see everything like it's daylight. Fuck yeah, bro. This is where I want to be. So, my topic today is gonna be, it's called Hadar, bro. So, Hadar stands for Heat Assisted Detection and Ranging. So basically, it's like similar to radar and sonar, but the only difference is that it uses heat signatures. So anything around us is always showing off heat. It's just normal. And it's just like how it works in the world. But in the past, it was always problematic to differentiate between them. Like if something was moving, it would have it's called a heat trail behind it. So if you were walking through a room and then behind you would see you as obviously the hottest spot, but the air behind you would also have a trail of obviously warmer air.
Because you heated it up.
Exactly. So that made kind of vision with this kind of system a little bit not functioning. So now with AI coming into play, it can actually use a model that takes off all these, this blur and make it very, very precise and crisp. So that means you can see at full night and completely in the dark. So this is not only for humans. Obviously, they're thinking now about tools and like machines that can use it. So they can work at night. They can work anytime. There's no light required, etc. They can even go into different spaces where it's maybe even harder to do. And it's super, super interesting because, sonar or all the other things, they're relying that they need to shoot out how does sonar or radar actually work? So you always shoot out a frequency, and then somewhere it resonates, it comes back. And based on how far it is away and comes back, you know where it is and what the shape looks like. With Hadar, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to shoot out. You just basically receive, and you can see it, which just makes it so much easier and much more reliable.
Faster too, probably.
Yes, obviously. Yes, exactly. It's faster as well, and nobody would even notice that you're actually watching. Like, for example, in the water, you could detect if somebody's like a sonar or all that other stuff. But with this, nothing. Kind of cool.
But does it work underwater as well, or is it just outside in the air?
I don't know. Honestly, I have no idea because the water could be problematic because it's just too dense. Exactly. The temperature also stays very precise. Well, I don't know. Actually, there is patterns in the water as well that might go warmer and colder. Anyways, I think that's super, super, super cool. And so I was thinking, like, for who might this be interesting, Lucas? So I already thought about researchers working in the fields, AI. What else do you think you have? Something in mind?
Soldiers, obviously, night vision, always great. Fucking creeps.
So that would be you, Lucas, at nighttime, stalking his
No,
prey.
maybe hunters as well. I mean, I don't think that might be that important. But yeah, for hunters, if they at night. Also, maybe rescuers. So imagine like mountain rescues, something like this. And at night, they can't really normally move or shouldn't move. But if somebody's in danger and they still need to see at night, so I think that might be super cool. Or hikers in general. I'm not sure how expensive it's going to be, but I think that's a use case.
I have a different one for you. All right. What about our boy Elon? What do you think in which use case might be useful for him?
Outside of space, I don't know. I'm just guessing here, but I don't know whether that even makes sense. But
Nope.
in tunnel
He's
building,
Other startup. Nope. Again, other one.
Hyperloop, I have no idea. Tell me.
And
What is it?
bro, you missed it all. It's about Tesla, bro. It's about autonomous driving. So the problem currently is with cars, there's too many sensors, and
Yeah.
you have to do a lot of calculation, and there's very, very complex models. So that means they're going to hit at some point, or they're already hitting like the walls of it. Like there's only so much they can do in math wise and like calculate until they have to shoot out a signal, come back. They're very complex. But with the heat signatures, it's much easier, and especially with the combination with AI, they could do this much quicker, and there's not so much data, which would, in the end of the day, could help these cars to be much more efficient and also better at self-driving. Isn't that cool?
But that is super cool. But my question is, if, for example, there's an object which doesn't have, like, which has the temperature of the room, right? For example, I don't know.
It
let's
never
say-
has. It never had. It does. It doesn't. It's never the same temperature.
Interesting. I mean, if the science
there's
works,
always-
that's super helpful.
Well, at least I think so. I don't know. Maybe I'm lying fuck now, but usually they have everything is like a little bit different. So I mean, at least that's what I said in I think it was covered in Discovery where I saw this, and yeah, I think it was Discovery, and it said there it was so super cool, and so they could use that for everything then, because everything is a little bit different, especially. It's so, yes, for us, it might feel the same temperature, but there's always slightly differences just because of the material is different, etc. And think about it this way. In a car, everything is moving, bro. It's not like there's a room that's actually stable. Let's say a room that hasn't been touched for a year and is completely shut off from the environment. That could be. It could be that in there everything is the same, or at least for us. But I think even then, there might be a difference. And then you could, in these kind of situations, these are edge cases, I'm guessing, you could still use a different way to like help, like sonar or whatever you want.
Yeah.
But
Other
having this as
sensors.
the base, exactly. Having this as the base, I think that would be super epic. All right.
Agree.
So what's the future prediction, Lucas?
I mean, if you said it's already issues with all these sensors, like sensor overload, I mean, of course, then you just use it as a main sensor, which is super helpful. I think, like, of course, probably right now the sensor is super expensive, but then later, of course, I would say it can trickle down to everything else. Yeah. So I would agree with that one. So my prediction is that probably like, I don't know, 5 to 10 years, it's probably, you can buy it for like outdoor people or on hunter websites, just a different version of it. Yeah, that's my guess.
So I'm not sure if they're gonna be sure that you can buy these things, because I think even night vision is hard to buy. I think that's something with the military stuff, where it's just like it's really hard to get at. So I think it's gonna have a massive impact. Okay, these are the 3 takeaways. So I think Hadar is gonna be really big in scenarios that we're not even thinking of right now. One is the industrial 4.0 in general, just like machines have better perception of in totally environment. It does it everything passive. So that means it doesn't have to send out a signal to receive it. It's all fully passive, and they're like aware of the surrounding. Also, I mean, they solved now with the AI, they solved the problem of depth perception of heat. And that's why Hadar works now with the AI model, because now with heat, they can know how far it is away, how far away is it is, etc. I also think we'll be self-driving. Oof, it's going to be so nice, so epic. Oh man, imagine you don't have to fucking drive anymore. Let's go, bro, man. horrible. Lucas, tell them how much you like driving, bro.
But I hate driving, especially at night. And I'm seeing at night, like driving, like it's super, super hard. So like I always just like look on Google Maps to see like, oh, it's like a left curve. So it like sucks. But by the way, I saw, Mark, also that on Decathlon they sell you like night goggles for like 160.
Yes. Okay,
Yeah,
but I'm
155.
guessing. But I'm guessing they're not.
I'm not sure what grade they
bro.
are, but no,
Yes.
of course they're not military grade, but I mean, they help for sure. But yeah.
Yeah. So it's like it's super super interesting. So I think that's going to be big for the world in general, how we perceive it, and it's going to open up to different possibilities, I believe.
Agree.
So I think this is for me, bro. Let's hit
All
me
right.
with your best shot. Ooh, ooh.
All right, so I'm gonna talk about the future of e-commerce. The other day, are you guys ready for the future of e-commerce? So, Mark,
Yes.
I'm gonna share my screen in a second. So we are now on Drakerelated.com. No, yeah. So here we go. So everybody, this is the future of e-commerce. At least I believe that. So basically, what Drake has a e-commerce Shopify website. The thing is, normal websites are quite boring, right? So what he did, he literally took his compound that he has, his mansion, and just made it like walkable. And then you can just like, you see those little dots, and then you can buy stuff. So for example, here might be like paint markers. So so it's like super, super cool. Like you can just say, all right, let me just walk into the mansion, into the studio, and then you can see like all the small stuff. Oh, let's see, tickets or whatever. And then you can just buy it. Like for example, a Drake original hoodie, etc. Now, this is cool itself already because it like makes it like you can, for famous people, you can just visit the house and just buy stuff, which is super, super cool. It's a different way of
It's more
selling.
immersive. It's super cool.
Yes,
It makes it
it's-
definitely harder to find everything, but it's like a cool experience. You live by the experience here.
Yeah, agree. It's super just cool just to visit. But what actually makes this website more interesting is that this year Drake decided to open up for, because he wanted to support smaller companies, or in general like smaller artists. So for example, here on this website, so Good Thoughts. So it's just like a candle, and Shopify collectives. You can just go on search through different Shopify stores and just say, hey, I want to collaborate with you. And for example, this one, Drake doesn't even produce himself. And then he can collaborate with them and bring other stuff onto his Shopify store. So the idea is that way he has the traffic, but he might not have the products. And instead of getting all the products as well as the like production in check, what he can just do, he can just say, hey, we're collaborating, I'm taking a cut, like make it like 15% more expenses, etc. But then you will do all the fulfillment, etc. Now,
So
this
affiliate
has-
kind of, that's cool.
Yes. This had like two big benefits because in the end, well, it's not affiliate because you take a cut. Well, yeah, it kind of is. But the benefit, what I see, or the outlook of, is it that bigger website or Shopify accounts can, through Shopify collectives, can just access other products from different ones and try out whether they work or not. So, for example, there might be let's say an artist or who has like a super cool designer floaty or whatever, and then they can decide, all right, I have the traffic, but I might not have the product. So hey, how about we work together, make a cut, and then it's just like a win-win situation, right? Because the one has the traffic, the one has the product. That way, both of them can win, which I think is might be a cool way to collaborate and nowadays and create a win-win situation. So I really liked it.
It's so cool. So it's a cool way to connect the supply and demand.
Yes.
Super, super cool. Super.
Yeah.
Where?
I mean,
was it a plane?
So yeah. So basically, his plane, and then if you go on the website, he literally you can just go on. Like, look, he even has a sponsor like Shopify.com. Here, you can just go in there. And
Yeah, bro. I also
Shopify.
saw in the other room it said like Shopify. I was like, whoa, this is cool.
Yeah. So he's supporting basically them as well. So it's cool that he can integrate on the website. So he probably has a deal with Shopify. I'm like, hey, if I convert them here to Shopify to become a member or have an account, I get affiliate money. So I think that's really, really cool. And also it's like a different experience. So I believe this will be the future, at least for like bigger personalities or people who really care about brands. Because in the end, it's like you want to associate with it, right? So imagine you see this of, I don't know, who's Henry Cavill or something like this, right? So he has this gaming room, etc., and then you just feel like you can like go through all his apartment, etc., and then just like buy like, I don't know, the graphics card that he buys, and I can see it for like many use cases, and yeah, I think that's super cool.
Bro, I agree. I think so as well. I think it also is for, well, it's only for high end or kind
Yeah.
of unique, like a little bit niche kind of. Because I think it's not going to be like for Nikes and all that stuff. It makes only sense for like bigger personalities or someone of a brand that you like associate with that's kind of specific, very specific. And you're like, yeah, man, I associate with this. These are the values that I stand for as well. So super cool find, bro. I like it a lot.
I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean,
Bro,
look up the more
holy
expensive
shit.
products. So, for example, here, the Air Drake patch socks, right? Just socks, $450, $415. So
Bro, a
they're
candle, 80
more,
euros.
yeah, they're more expensive than his sweatpants. Like the sweatpants, $100. The socks,
What the
415.
fuck
So
is
yeah.
happening? This is wild,
So yeah, I
bro.
think
This is
that's
wild.
it's pretty cool. Yeah. No, I
This is
thought
fucking epic.
that might be interesting in general. We'll see where it goes, like whether he will keep collaborating with other brands. But I think I like the really cool idea because they can that way you can on a website have deal sponsorships. So for example, Shopify.
Yeah.
Then you have your own merch as well as try new merch, which might fit in with your brand, right? That way you have it all together. So summing up, I believe websites such as Drakerelated.com will be the future of e-commerce, at least for bigger brands who are also like targeting more expensive, like like tier, like top tier or not top tier, but high end products. So you can have a mix of your own products, the products that might be related and are a good like addition, as well as you can do just like promotions of brands. So for example, Shopify.com, and other deals, so like brand related things. So I think this is a great tool or a great layout for influencers who want to have a Shopify store.
All right, I'll take a different side because you said it will be the future for e-commerce. I think this is
Will be
a
a
future.
future. Yeah.
Exactly. A future. And I think this is a different branch just for this, what you just mentioned. Otherwise, I
Yeah.
would agree. For this kind of specific use case, I think it's amazing. I'm just going to call this the experience e-commerce or e-commerce experience. Like it's a different, like you get to experience, you get to, I don't know, maybe explore e-commerce or something because you're
Yeah.
exploring the mention. So I think this is what it is at. And I think this is super cool because we're always looking for new thrills. I feel like at least at our generation is.
Yeah.
And this is something cool because we've never experienced this, or at least I haven't. And this is kind of cool. You got to like go through his shit and be like, oh, this is interesting. I can buy
This
this.
is how his bedroom looks like.
Exactly. So pretty epic, and I agree with you, 100%.
Only thing I believe it only would work for personalities. So I don't believe it will work for an everyday store who just sells normal socks. I don't think that might work. For example, that's just like Amazon Basics. So I think that wouldn't work for that. It's just for like when you already have like a connection to that brand, and it probably might be needs to be more expensive. So it also makes sense, like because it's not as easy to find the products.
I have a different question or idea. I mean, this kind of connects to the metaverse for me. And I was thinking about what if it's like Sims or all that stuff? I mean, this is like a version. This is not a game yet. But at some point, this could be like playable. Imagine you're experiencing this differently. You're like in the game and you could find something hidden and then you could buy this. That would be kind of sick too.
Ooh.
So I think this is super interesting. And this might be an early version of this kind of like metaverse shopping. I don't know. Kind of cool because you're experiencing it differently than just on a regular form website. So maybe what are you thinking?
I think that might be an interesting case that you have a mix. So, for example, imagine you have a game where you can basically get an item or like a shirt or whatever, and then you can also get it shipped like in real life. So you have basically your avatar as well as in real life you have the same shirt. So I think that might be a mix that's possible. Only downside is if you have everything in the metaverse. Well, metaverse is like basically a gaming experience and you buy stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's harder to buy a lot because you just like it's more like you're playing it on the side. You think like you can shopping. it's not the same as just going on Amazon.com and just clicking I want, one click shop. So I think that might be a difference. But yeah, it's definitely a cool experience for sure. But yeah.
Agree.
Alrighty. All right, Mark. I think that's the part. So we have the future of e-commerce, or a future of e-commerce, as well as night vision for all the creeps out there. Perfect.
It's not about creeps, bro. It's about escaping the Slender Man, bro. You gotta have that night vision, bro.
Escaping the Slender Man, and of course,
Hadar,
the future
bro.
of AI
Hadar.
driving.
Imagine, bro, you're in the middle of the night, bro. You're not gonna hit your fucking toe when you go to the washroom because you're old and you have to pee twice a night. Fuck yeah, bro. I'm down. I want this vision. This is so sick. You can like look in the distance even because you see everything. Like, fuck yeah, man. And I think this would also not impact so much your maybe. Yeah, probably perception. Man, I don't know. I'm so curious, bro. I want to see. I want to find out.
I want to see a use case,
Yeah.
like a directory.
Yeah. Also, I would wonder how they would work with photographs. Anyways, this is one for next episode.
Yeah. All right, guys. Twins out. Catch you in the next one.